Alright, so I'm seemingly streaming, but sometimes it's lying to me. And it might. First of all, where's my screen? Yeah, that's what I told you. It says like, oh yeah, you're streaming, and then it resets the counter. Not even sure if you could see me like exclaim about whatever I was explaining about. So, on this stream, I want to, install Arch. Well, not really. I'm still gonna be using Windows, because how the hell would I stream installing Arch? Like dual booting all of that? OBS is not gonna work in the fucking BIOS, but what I want to do is install Arch on WSL. How do I do that? I honestly have no idea. So, where do we start? So, on WSL, I have Ubuntu. I guess what I should be doing is open CMD, believe it or not, WSL, help, I guess. Well, that's a lot. What do we have here? So first of all, I want to figure out the things that I have and how to run the specified distribution. A shell for the system, arguments for managing Windows subsystem for Linux, help, debug shell, install. Install a Windows subsystem for Linux distribution. For a list of valid distributions, okay, list online. Okay, wsl.exe, list online. So we have Ubuntu, Debian, Kali, I'm not a hacker, Ubuntu 18, Ubuntu 20, and Ubuntu 22. I don't even know what Oracle Linux is. SUSE Linux Enterprise Server. I actually have a song that relates to that. I'm gonna show it, but not gonna play it because I don't have my headphones plugged in. A song that I love very much for its stupidity is, yes, there is an actual track called Sus, which is about Among Us, and the dude raps about Among Us. It's hilarious. I recommend everyone to listen to it. 3 viewers? Goddamn! Or 4, I don't know. What was the difference between these numbers? Goddamn, you try to install Arch and now suddenly everyone is interested, but when you spend 3 hours configuring fish, for some reason nobody is interested. And I guess that's fair enough. It doesn't sound particularly interesting. Okay, so what do we have here? This is not enough. Why? Because it doesn't have Arch on here. Like, how do I install you on WSL? Do I have, or like, why I want to install Arch? The entire reason is so I have a rolling update Linux, because Ubuntu has been annoying me to fucking no end by being not a rolling release system. So for example, now I need the latest NeoVim for the NeoVim extension on VS Code, but I can't just sudo get apt install NeoVim. No, that's not gonna be the latest version. So I have to do some weird magic to install it some other way. And the same thing for the fish shell. So that's why I don't want to use Ubuntu anymore. No other reason really. So it says rolling, but ideally I would still like to install Arch. However, is there no other options than these ones? Does anyone know? We all know. Absolutely. ArchWiki. I think my options here, well, basically they're not going to be listed on the ArchWiki, more like WSL. So let's actually ask this question on Google. How do I install Arch on WSL? Do we have the option to even? Ah. So there is a way. But the thing that I want to do is first of all install Arch and only then remove Ubuntu. So I still have like a working terminal with everything. Yeah. So how to set up Arch WSL? Is that a different thing though? No, it doesn't seem to be. Okay, installation instructions. Zip file. Extract all the files in the same directory that you have write permission. Fair enough. Let's see the version that I'm using. I supposedly use WSL1, or at least I want to be. And I am. Okay, that's good. So you must change the glibc package. And I have to, you say. You can use, however, download and run. I'll just trust it. Yeah, turns out, that's pretty cool though. Because Arch is like, basically, when you get into Linux, you spend a long time fucking around, and then you're like, I'm tired of this shit, I'm just gonna install Arch. I think this is like the natural progression for everyone. But I'm reaching it a bit quicker because I'm trans. Okay, so setting the root password, so you just, I guess, run it. Should always, yeah. Does not have support for systemd. However, there are several solutions. You know what? Like, I'm scared. What I ideally want to do is have issues with Arch, not WSL. And is there like a guarantee, essentially, that I'm just going to be able to use Arch? Am I scared for nothing? What do you want to be using WSL1? Almost everywhere. Almost every way. The one negative, which is very big for me, is the fact that the NTFS file system is slower on WSL2 than it is on WSL1. So interaction with the Windows file system on WSL1 is faster, and also WSL2 takes more resources than WSL1. So that's the reasons why I use the first version. I actually converted to version 2 because, well, it's the better version because it's bigger, but then I reverted back. So my current thought is I can go through the, I think, struggle of installing Arch on WSL. And once again, I would rather have Arch issues rather than WSL issues, or just install Kali for the simple reason of it being a rolling thing. Am I correct about this, that if I install Kali, that yeah, I'm still gonna have a rolling release thing, like distribution on WSL, and fix pretty much the only issue that I have with Ubuntu? Does this sound reasonable? Yeah. I don't remember where I read it, but I guess on Reddit I saw someone mention this and I'm like, oh really? Then I read the docs and I'm like, oh wow, actually WSL1 has some positives to it. So yeah, turns out. I want to open up because of something. The recent stream that I had where I was like configuring fish, it actually took a lot of me, like mentally. And then yesterday, another thing happened that affected me mentally. So now I'm rotating my schedule to escape. Not all rolling releases are the same, and I have never tried Kali rolling. What do you mean by not the same? A pretty similar experience to Arch? In terms of like rolling releases. Like, would you say, overall not really a good idea, or yeah, overall that's good enough? Like, where do you stand on this? Because if I just like WSL install Kali, that should be the entire thing, more or less. Okay, well, first of all, what's the install thing? Okay, install distro, install say Windows subs. Yeah, no launch, do not launch the distribution after install. No, actually, I wanted to do that. Oh, there's one thing that I didn't consider at all. The fact that probably I'll have to reboot Windows after installing. Web download the distribution from the internet instead of the microphone. Yeah, I actually do want that, because fuck my Microsoft Store. So rolling release does not mean that packages are updated instantly. Well, yeah, naturally. They are usually reviewed and packaged, and that takes time. So some rolling releases might be faster than others. Yeah, that makes absolute sense, but I feel like for the most part, it's still going to be miles better than static releases and is going to like fix my issues. Like, I imagine that the rolling release of even Kali is still going to have the latest version of NeoVim that I currently need and the latest version of Fish. Maybe for some like more niche things, I will still have to like use app images or tar files or whatever, but for most things it's probably going to be enough. For example, Manjaro uses a rolling release schedule which is based on Arch. Yeah, I actually heard about this, probably from you. So it's inherently slower than Arch by at least a little bit. Yeah, that makes sense. But when I'm gonna be dual booting, I'm pretty sure like I'm definitely gonna install Arch, because here what I only get is the WSL experience, so just the shell. And as you said, the only difference really is the package manager in terms of what system you use for WSL. But when I'm going to be using like an actual Linux system, I might as well install Arch, because I'm going to get the benefits of other parts of it as well. So what I have to do is WSL. So wsl.exe install, then this Kali Linux and web install, I think. Let's check out whether I'm correct. So install distro. Oh, it's a flag. I thought it was a command. Okay. And then web download. So not install, but download. web download, and this has 2. And I guess we just start. Oh, sorry. I hope ideally I don't have to reboot Windows to do this. Oh, and by the way, I should rename the stream. Installing. I forgot, yeah. Kali, but not because I'm a hacker. That's better. At least it's not a lie. So I would guess installing Kali rolling will be the better choice here. Definitely easier and only maybe slower in schedule. So it's almost like a VM. It is kind of a VM depending on how you look at it. So WSL2 is pretty much a VM because you can even have GUI stuff with WSL2. I've seen people like actually use that as a VM, but a VM that's more interactable with your system. The fact that you can interact with your Windows file system, for example, even the path is shared from Windows to the shell of Linux that you have, and some other stuff I can only imagine. So a WSL is just kind of nicer than using a VM because it's less contained. So it depends on what you actually want from your experience. But WSL1 doesn't have the GUI stuff, and it's essentially more limited, which is also good because I don't want GUI. I don't care about them. Yeah. Okay, so new Unix username is going to be Axel Fulbler because Linux actually asks you for that instead of having you to log into your Microsoft account and then just taking 6 characters from the start of it, from the start of your email, without ever asking you what username you actually want, and you end up with a shortened version of your dead name. Won't happen on Linux. New password. Thank God it actually doesn't show it to you, because I wouldn't be sure how to... Actually, no, I would know how to hide it. Lol. Message from Kali developers. No, I'm not a hacker and I really don't care. So this in theory should be all, and this in theory should be bash. Touch hash login to hide this message. Okay, so let's do that. Hash login. Boop. Okay, so what happens if I do this? I still get fish because of how slow it is. So fish is very slow at boot up, and it's overall noticeably slower than Z shell, but at this point I think it's worth it. Like, for example, you saw that it updated the time without me creating, like, doing this. It's updated the time. It sometimes does that, and I find that very cool. Okay, so I guess then after I essentially set up everything, I'm going to be able to say, oh, like delete Ubuntu or make this one the default one. So what am I going to start with? First of all, let's go to cd mnt c programming.files. So now, essentially, what do I do here? I symlink a bunch of fish stuff to the correct thing. So first of all, I install fish, right? And it's funny because I don't even know what package manager Kali uses. Kali package manager. So first of all, let's read up on that. I wrote that about the GUI thing in WSL2. Yep. What the fuck is with YouTube? Streaming on it is a confusing experience. Yesterday, for example, no, not yesterday, like basically the last fish stream, I decided to play some music, and I wasn't banned, but suspiciously my streams just ended by themselves. YouTube has said nothing about this, so it's just kind of confusing. Like, can I or can I not? Fish being slower is so weird to me. It's incredibly fast for me. I don't know why. Like, fish is like overall slower for me than Z shell. And even with all the bloat that Z shell supposedly has, and it's true, it does have the bloat. So fish at least feels less bloaty because of how files are managed and because of how things are set up. But if you look at like comparatively, then yeah, if we exit this, oh, that's not what I wanted to do. See how long it takes? Like, sure, I'm streaming, so that probably makes a difference, but even when I'm not, like, it takes considerably slower than Z shell. But on the other side, now I have this, which, yeah, by itself is not worth it, but considering that I now have everything that I had on Z shell, this is now a cool thing, and you can just look at and, oh, switch, I didn't know that was a thing, for example, submodule, what the fuck is that? And then I can learn about it. True, you won't be able to understand the entire command at first when you see this menu. But at least you have heard of it now, and then you can go ahead to learn it. Maybe fish just hates WSL or vice versa. Perhaps that could be true. Or maybe it's a WSL thing because the fish that I installed is not from a proper release, or basically I didn't install fish by typing in sudo apt-get install fish. It was some other sequence of commands, and maybe, I don't know, I don't fucking know. So maybe on Kali, that's gonna be not an issue, who knows? And also assume that Ubuntu is more bloated than Kali. I don't have anything to support this claim with, but that's my thought. Also, by the way, the default shell prompt on Kali, it's pretty cool. Like, it looks cool, not gonna lie. Not my personal style. I don't like having Unicode symbols as connectors. Not gonna be able to show you why. Yeah, because no convenient way to open multiple Kali windows. Oh, but I guess, well, it's better than I expected, but essentially once your terminal space is too small, they don't give, like, they aren't pretty anymore. But if you don't have those symbols, it's never an issue, which is why I use no like connectors, no right side prompts, and so on. Time fish, see, okay, sure, let's do that. What is a milli? And why are there multiple? I guess milliseconds and microseconds. Well, that is supposedly incredibly fast. But it's probably the shell prompt building because of all the configuration. That's probably the case, rather than fish itself. Okay, so package manager. We're not using Windows. Why are you going to settings in a GUI? That's crazy. Oh, apt as well? Yeah. Can you just say, oh, use this command, you fuckers? Don't explain what it is. So I guess apt. Oh, not here. Apt health. I don't fucking know. Oh yeah. Oh, I don't have fucking. Yeah, that's annoying. Not having Vim. Help into less. So I guess yeah, the same thing. I expected something different, to be fair. Apt is a command line package manager. So the same thing pretty much. Is there an apt get? And I never understood the difference. Yeah. What's the difference? Oh, you're saying like that's the first thing I should do? You're so right, actually. Lol. Sudo apt get update. I guess it needed to be lowercase. Yeah, very correct. Update, and I guess now upgrade. Upgrade. I guess. Do your thing. Yeah, good catch. Okay, let's do that. Time fish prompt. No, not timer. That's my thing. I think the time thing just lies. Or maybe, like, it times only a part of it, leaving out the actual slow other part of it. It's interesting. So I guess I won't have to bother learning a new package manager, which is both good and bad. Like, I would like to learn another one. By the way, everyone watching, can you hear the better sound quality? I just got a microphone stand, so now the microphone is much closer to my mouth, first of all. I also have a pop filter, and yeah, so the microphone is no longer on the table, so the keyboard sounds are also going to be better, I think. Have you noticed? It's a combination of several utilities. Oh. Yeah, you're probably right. Yeah. Like, at least I would hope you're right, you know? Sometimes you just wish you're wrong for the better of yourself, you know? So, can I just always use apt, or should I use apt get? I've been using apt get because I heard somewhere that I should be using it, but I have like no okay, no fish to chase after in this fight. Done. Cool. Cool. So what should I start with? Getting my fish config set up. Let's go to dot files to I probably like occupy a lot of memory because I'm running two. Yeah. God damn. So vmmem is for WSL, and not only am I running Ubuntu, I'm also running Kali right now. So I'm just gonna delete Ubuntu once I configure Kali. So what do we have to set up? Fish, true, then neovim, colors, that's no. So only two things, I guess, as well as installing some other stuff. So first of all, sudo apt get, I'm gonna say for now, install fish. And let's go to fish shell fisher to check out what version it actually needs. And for now, you can continue. I think using apt always is the... Oh, okay. Okay, we'll know. So, Fisher. Actually, no, not Fisher, but this thing, which I can just... I can't, right? Yeah, not really. Well, I can just Google it and then find it immediately. I have a tool that converts a path to a GitHub link, so you can open it or paste it, but it automatically assumes I'm talking about myself, I think. I haven't touched it in so long that I'm not sure how it works. Hold up, I'm gonna open the window. I hope that's not like hugely awful in terms of sound quality. So the latest version of Fish 3.6.0. Okay, so let's run Fish version. Well, here we go. On Ubuntu, this was an issue. It installed not this version, but something prior. So now we don't have to fuck around by installing Fish some specific way, because, well, a rolling release. This is very nice. Fuck yeah, okay. Okay, this makes me happy, actually. Now we install Fisher, right? Installation, and I love that the installation doesn't depend on anything. It's just like it's just like a command, which I'm pretty sure doesn't care what shell you're using, Fish or not Fish, like a POSIX compliance shell, because it's just normal syntax. So it's doubly, and it's so smart, like it takes curl to give the output of a file on the internet, it sources it, and by using it, it's so cool. Like, the sound from the video, oh really? Oh, that's cool. Great. Like, I find that so nice. The fact that the Unix way of doing it being very smart. So let's just paste this, I guess, and run it. Bash source, file name argument required. I might be wrong actually on that. The fact that this needs, yeah, oh, I was wrong. It does need to be installed via Fish. So I imagine the default shell that you use on, hold on, I can actually do, no, I'll do it after. So my question is, what shell does Kali use by default? I've heard some distributions use Z shell by default now, but I imagine it's still Bash. So I'm gonna check that out later. Not sure how exactly, but I'll figure it out. And now Tide, and the only thing that I need to do is copy this and Fisher install this, and that should be it. Wow, so far it's going like very, very easily. Maybe, yeah, but it was more so the oh yeah, actually there is a difference in syntax. Doesn't matter that much which shell you can use, but maybe you have a shell that you currently have set up the way you want, so you're more comfortable using it. So you're not quite ready to jump to Fish, and you first have to, or want to, import all of your settings first. Echo shell. Oh yeah, that is easy. Okay, so let's configure it first, and then I'll exit, check out the shell, and come back. So I pick lean, fucking fat Nick, true color, yeah. I don't want the time because I end up adding it myself. 2 lines I like a lot, and like this looks pretty cool, especially if you pick the other cooler versions, but it brings in a lot of issues if you try to have multiple terminals at the same time, which true, usually you just wouldn't, but I don't want to create an issue for myself where there shouldn't be one. Compact, actually, few icons, and yes. So now, like if I just do this, oh, hold up, actually. Well, did the Kali Linux appear here? No, it didn't. Well, I can only imagine that it will. Yeah. Some prompts actually auto-adjust when the terminal dimensions change. Keyword sum, bar level 10k, and I can only imagine the fish version of it. Maybe they don't even wrap in a stupid way, but still having those special characters wrap at all is just not what I want to see. It would make sense if they do. Like, for example, I've seen the time on the right prompt just disappear if your terminal is too small. But that's also bad, you know? Like, I don't want it to disappear, I just want it to appear in a natural way. What's cool is that I just installed these very easily, and now, like, I have my things. Now, what I want to do is go to I think that config fish, and what do we have here? We remove config.fish and make a symlink to here. So first is the target and then the symlink, right? I always forget. Help into less. Yes, target and symlink, right? Yes. And on Windows, it's symlink and target. I will never remember this, I feel like. So make it, the target is mnt c programming dot files config. I think it should work on fish. I thought it would. mnt c programming dot, yeah, in theory it should. C program dot files config. Well, it's almost correct. Config. Oh, that's on me. That is so on me, because actually fish first and then oh, I don't have Vim mode. This is so like painful. Okay, and this is the target. And since I just deleted config.fish, I can now specify the symlink to be in here. And believe it or not, it's better to use the absolute path still, because I remember it working weirdly with fish if it was a relative one. So config.fish, and it's going to be called config.fish. What's really cool is the fact that it immediately at least tried to be correct, and it's correct in some ways. So let's reset, and now in theory I should have Vim mode. I don't. So let's go back. What shell am I using? Yeah, bash, as I thought. So is there like a directory specifically for shells that I can look into? I remember seeing something like that, but I don't remember the specific directory. Does anyone know? If you do, please let me know. Okay, so let's go back to fish. God, it's so slow. Okay, so now, interesting, the fact that, oh, that is so my bad, because run these once. I did it the way that Misha told me to. This is the file which you essentially paste once into your thing, into your shell, and don't run them again, instead of having them all in config.fish, so all the functions don't get reinstated, like redeclared every time. However, what I want to do is not open Discord, because that's something that I do by fucking muscle memory. I want to essentially run this file with fish. I am sure there's a way. Change shell. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Username. Huh. I don't remember having to specify that, but okay. Change shell. Oh, you get this menu by pressing Alt. How the fuck would I know that? So this is, don't worry, my hands are very much off the mouse, like buttons, and it doesn't even have a tooltip. So I guess this is timeout, this is delete message, and this is ban. Good to know for the future transphobes in my chat, which unfortunately probably will appear. Okay, so change shell-l, change shell-l, no, yeah, correct. It's just that when changing the default shell, I don't remember having to specify a username for it. I thought it just took from, like, wherever it's stored. So change shell-l doesn't exist. Okay. I know, right? I'm also confused. But change the default shell, which, yeah, I guess I should do already. Change shell, -s. By default, it uses the current. Oh, okay. So how can I run a fish script with fish? Where fish? Wait, oh, I guess which? Fish, user bin fish. So what I could do, I guess, is shebang, user bin fish. Does it work like this? How do I make a she bang? And she indeed bang. Yeah, I guess. So bin bash. Can we just go to, I guess, bin? Yeah. And see what's in here. Oh, yes. I remember this thing. Xargs. So fish is probably in here, right? But it's in, like, wait, is that a list? Can I, like, find, or rather the, yes, ls, and then find, no, find here, and I'm trying to find fish. Wait, find user, yo, yeah, right, I wanted grep. I'm looking for fish. Please let me know if it has it. And it takes an, oh, my bad. What I wanted to do is first ls-a-g actually. Ooh, now this should work. Yes, and indeed, it has fish here. Oh, okay, so I can just bin fish. without like user db. So bin fish. Now if I just type in run these ones.fish, it will automatically run with fish. Am I correct about that? So you can just use source. That's cool. Huh. So does source, like the thing that source does is run this script in the current shell? Because I always saw source as like update the settings in this file, but does it actually just run a script using the current shell? So you're saying that you should leave it at that. Okay, yeah, fair enough. Okay, so let's go back to MNT, C programming. Wait, CD to make sure it understands. Program. Oh, I can just do that. Dot files. Fish. Yes. And now I'm there. And now I source run. Please understand me. And it should. Okay, and it did. Now if I although right, FZF is not yet installed, so sudo apt install FZF. Boop, 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 boop. This is cool. Yeah, installing Linux is, well, at least when the most difficult parts are done for you, like in WSL. In this situation, installing Linux is so easy, or rather setting up your system. On Windows, you would have to do so many other things, which you couldn't really import, which is like the worst thing. When Linux just uses files for all the dot files, and you can just import them and like here you go. It's so nice. Bin is for programs that come with the system. So on distros where fish is the default, it could live in bin, but usually it should install. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. That's just convention, we all know how welcome to. Yeah, true. But I guess if there is a convention, it's better to follow it than not. Like for example, in C#, if you make an interface, you're supposed to put a capital I before the name of it. Some people say that it's a stupid convention, but I still like it because it's at least something to go by. I've heard the point of, it doesn't matter if it's a class or an interface. I disagree. I think it's important, at least to me, to know whether it's an interface or a class when you're using it. Yeah. The same way that I don't like implicit types. So in C#, you can, just gonna show it here. Say you want to make a new variable which type is string. What you could do is var new var is string. And true, the compiler understands that it's a string and still like tracks it, but I hate it because you could just say string and make it as obvious as possible, because more often than not this won't be a string, this will be some method that you call that, yeah, returns a string, but it's not necessarily obvious. So just make it obvious, please. So yeah, the cool thing about this file is that you can just source this file and like here you go. What I used to do is copy and then go into fish and paste it. I don't even have to do that. This is so cool. I think it's a stupid convention, but not because it's annoying to type or whatever. If that was your argument, that would be a very clown argument, like, gonna be fair. Because nothing is annoying to type in anymore in programming because of all the tools that you have that autocomplete fucking everything for you. But yeah, I don't think it's maybe stupid, but I would rather have it than not, because the way that classes and interfaces work are a bit different. The biggest and I think most important part of it is with a class you can only have one child, or with a class you can only have one parent, but with interfaces you can have multiple inheritance. And I want to know that as explicitly as possible. Okay, so let's continue. FZF is now installed, so I don't remember this line being there, but I like it, like a lot. What the fuck? Okay, let's search for some file, clean input box. Cool. Wow, this is like so easy. So easy. Huh. That's cool. That is cool. That is just straight up cool. So I set up fish almost. Let's go to .config, and now I can finally just do this. Oh, no, just here. What's in here? Or rather, what's in here? We have functions which just has fish greeting. So let's go to functions here. Remove fish greeting. Oh, it doesn't even have it, so I don't have to like worry about it. Okay, so we make a symlink to greeting, and the symlink should be, I'm gonna do some magic right now. I've never done this before. Hold up, before I do that, it doesn't have a slash. Okay. Okay, so pwd, so functions, and it's also going to be fish greeting. And the reason why I'm not just using a relative path is, once again, as I said, it's kind of weird. Oh, if I remember correct. Huh? Oh, right, because I don't have new of them installed yet. I think, yeah. If you're in quotes, you should be using $sign. Okay, so fish greeting.fish. And now let's go back and fish. And now there shouldn't be a greeting. Cool. Okay. And now change, fish, and change shell, sudo change shell, user bin fish. Oh, I should have looked. -s. Okay, -s for shell, I imagine. Now I can quit, and I can't quit again because I'll quit into CMD, and that's not what I want. So once I install NeoVim, that's going to be pretty much the end of my setup of Linux, which is so cool. Like, you wouldn't be able to do this on Windows. You will spend hours configuring stuff, because you can't just have a file that has all of those settings. And if you do, it's just way harder than it is on Linux. Yeah, actually, absolutely agree. Yeah, on that point I agree. Also, the I leads to loads of super unnecessary interfaces that could as well be removed. Really? Why is that unnecessary? the eye leads to loads of super unnecessary interfaces that could just as well be removed. I disagree. Like, this is useful and this is useful. What? Abstract classes are nearly the same thing. True, nearly, but still, no multiple inheritance in most modern languages. Well, I'm more specifically talking about C#. If a different language has a different convention, I'm also probably like, yeah, I'm gonna follow it. And for that language, maybe the structure is a bit different in most modern languages, and no one would put an I before those. True, I guess, yeah. No, this is on topic. Like, we're doing programming related stuff, and this is programming related talk. Oh, I see. I see. Yeah, I didn't get you at first. Thought you were talking that this is so useless. Why do we have those? And I was like, what? Okay, I misunderstood you. Okay, so now we configured fish. Damn, that's cool. You know what I love about the fish version of par level 10k? The fact that your configuration, like that you do in the wizard, and your own settings are separated. So I was able to configure my stuff and then still very easily put my dot files there. And both of them have effects. So for example, if I redo my configuration wizard to maybe put a new line in between, well, I'm still gonna have all of my settings. I won't have to do anything. That one thing will change instead of everything changing and me having to undo all of the changes that it made, which was the case on Z Shell. So that's very, very cool. Now I guess just sudo apt install neovim. Really? Oh, I guess just neovim, which is kind of confusing. Like, you call nvim, but the package is called neovim. Please rename it? I know it's a crazy request, but kind of strange. I'm actually like really happy that at least 2 people are watching me. This is like very, very nice. I hope you're having a good time and a good day. Mine certainly got better once I started streaming and got like 3 viewers immediately. I'm like, for a YouTuber, I care about numbers too much, I realize. That's gonna be the end of me someday. The fact that recently I've been getting less subscribers than I used to, like, I'm not gonna lie, it affects me. And I might as well be vulnerable than hide that. But as time goes, I'm gonna reassure myself that my numbers are not my worth as a content creator. It's a bit difficult though. Okay, so it installed. Now, neovim, here it is. Perfect. Right, I need to fucking install Packer and plug. Ciao. Ciao. What's the... Okay, Unix. Is there anything... This, as far as I'm aware, is just this. Create directories. Vim flag master. Unix, Linux. Okay, I'm gonna do this, and just to be safe, execute it in bash. Yeah, this should install plug, and it has. Okay, now packer neovim, and then we just call plug install, and before we do that, what I actually need to do is load in the neovim config. Okay, how do we install this? Really? Wow, huh. I guess that's good that it like turned on again. Okay. Stream health. Okay, seems to be good again. That's good. Okay. Quick start. To get started, first clone this repository to somewhere on your pack path. I will just trust it and hope that it works. It's so interesting that it specifies the Windows installations as well. Like, you would imagine that Vim is like, or Packer more specifically, is like, what are you fucking doing using neovim on Windows, you wacko? But turns out no. So, okay, copy this. Let's run this. What? Git not found? I thought it was pre-installed on every system. I guess not. Wow. You would think, like, yeah, naturally it's there. I guess not. That's crazy. Oh, right. Oh, come on. Come on. Why is it not pasting? Why is it hanging? Hey, yo! What's up? It wouldn't happen on No, I don't think it's a shell thing. I mean, to be fair, like, it's good. It's a good thing. Really? How the hell do you install shit? Oh, I guess. Oh, yeah, fair enough. By first installing curl. Yeah, that's good overall. Then your system coming with everything, including the things that you don't particularly want. Having the choice is nice. You know what's even better? Having your shell not fucking hang for no reason. Okay, let's open wsl.exe. And how do I specify to go on Kali? Set default. Oh, that's cool. So once I install neovim, I'm gonna set Kali as default, and then yes, yeah, delete. Okay. Running. Okay, so wsl.exe list, I guess just list. How do I say, yo, run this one? Shut down. Mount, no. Distribution. -d. Okay. So wsl.exe -d Kali Linux. Okay, we're back. We're so back. Yeah, that's what I thought. Fair enough. But my immediate thought was, oh my god, how do you do this? Okay, so I installed Packer. Now we can actually go into Fish to have a better experience. Oh fuck. To have a better experience. So, where is init.lua supposed to be? I think this then .config, then we'll see, I guess. PowerShell? What is it doing here? Literally, what is it doing here? Isn't neovim supposed to be here? Ooh, I know. Let's touch in fish and here. Let's call it sim links. And it's going to be a fish script that makes all the symlinks that I would ever need on Linux. I think that's gonna be a cool script. When I was trying to fall asleep yesterday, I think I was thinking of doing this. So let's type that in. Symlinks script. Okay. Now I need to, okay, where do you put init.lua .config.neovim? Okay, so we make a directory, make dir neovim, and go to it. Nothing. True. So I guess everything that I do is this, pointing to init.lua, and then pwd, because I don't trust it anymore, init.lua, and that should be it in theory. So let's try it out. Yeah, so it works, because it doesn't. Plug install. Well, that's not true. Packer install, or rather packer sync. It should be though. It should be though. Okay, what was the actual error? Color scheme. Oh, I see. Init.lua. It's because it's trying to do something before, like, working, essentially. So let's put it after the Packers of the world and everything. Oh, I'll also, I don't have to, like, Win32 Yank is already on my path, so I won't have to worry about it. And God, switching distribution is actually so much easier than I thought. Okay. Okay, let's go. That's better. So, please plug install. Okay, so it's installing the plugins now. Oh, also, I want to remove some of the plugins that I no longer use. Oh, come on. Wow, it's taking a long time. Are you installing, like, everything? Isn't it, like, depth 1 or whatever that it's supposed to be using? Like on Git, you can git clone a repo only cloning the recent commit and not all of them, or so I heard. Wow, you're compressing objects so long. What are you doing there? I'm not even sure I need that anymore. I don't remember. Yeah, I actually don't. I'm pretty sure I don't. Sure. Packer install. Do your thing. Wow, it jumps around so, like, cutely. And melange is a color scheme that I don't use. And it's the one that downloads for the longest. It's so funny. God, I love vaping so much. You have an addiction. Yeah, I know. But it's like so tasty. I have an e-liquid with apple and something, and it's like incredible. For some reason, apples are hard to pull off in e-liquids, or at least they're usually shit. Or maybe I'm lying, maybe I haven't tried enough of them. So now when I come back, it's now exactly what I want it to be. Cool, so everything NeoVim related is now installed. So which NeoVim? Tell me. User bin NeoVim. So now NeoVim path or something. So not .local bin NeoVim, but user bin NeoVim. And VS Code will break, but that's okay. Okay, so everything is set up. I can now go back and wsl.exe help again. Can I please into less? And it's not a thing. Well, why would it be? I love CMD so much, and PowerShell isn't better. Okay, it is better, but not like majorly. Like, even something as simple as ls doesn't fucking exist on CMD. And I don't know if there's a please list just the files and directories in the current directory command in CMD. It's so weird. Okay, set default or -s wsl.exe -s. Is it there? The wrong thing though. Kali Linux was, I'm pretty sure, or not, I guess, yeah. Kali Linux. Okay. So now I can just close that, and WSL unregisters the distribution and deletes the root file system. So unregister Ubuntu. Just that easily. So terminate. Oh, I can do wsl.exe list running, I think. Well, almost. Running. Well, you're right. You're right. Fair enough. What else do we have? Like, to clean the entire Ubuntu thing, we have list, import in place, import, export, version, update, unmount, unmounts and detaches a disk from all WSL2 distributions. Status. The default install version. Oh, like to set WSL2, right. I used it in the past. Really? Let's try this out. Oh yeah, thank you. However, I do find it very ugly. Like, no color highlighting, this deer just screaming at you, the dates being in 3 separate columns, but it's not like awk exists. Like this? But at least there's some way. And also there's like, I don't care about that. Hate it. I hate it. Shut down, mount, install. I guess like that's it. So let's WSL exe list, like just list. Yeah, cool. So now when I do this, okay. I see, and now I just -d Kali Linux. Oh, so it's so easy to create profiles that run different. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Oh wow. I think, yeah, it did use a hyphen. Can you close, please? Not to that extent. I mean, yeah. That's not what I hate is the fact that why did you move there? Why did you change your name? Like, I support you if you're trans, but please tell me beforehand. Just Linux, or sure, Kali Linux. Start there, tab title, doesn't matter. And like, I can't change the which one goes first, essentially. I find that very annoying. Maybe I can in the JSON file, and that's okay because Jesus, Windows is like fucking around. So in theory, now when I load this up, it should use the NeoVim on Kali. The cool thing about Kali Linux, the fact that it said, oh, I don't have fucking Git installed, probably means, and here are the rolling releases that are not quite there. Well, at least it still works somewhat. So that I'll still have to install myself. So, profile. Really? What are you making sounds for? Go to the top. You crazy? So first it just has all the hotkeys, and then it should have the profiles. So I could just change which one is which, I hope. Because otherwise it's just annoying. So profiles, list. Okay, so CMD, then PowerShell, and the third one should be Kali Linux. So dim. Boop. Yes, save. And now when I press this, it should have at least. It should have. Yes, yes. Okay, cool. And now I change sudo change shell -s user bin fish boop, 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 boop. Well, like, use fish, please. What? I am not at fish. Why is it still letting bash for me? I don't get it. Huh? Wherever someone around me vapes, I get a gag reflex from how disgusting it smells. I'm sorry, I guess. I kinda love it. Not sure how I missed that message. Okay. Why? Change shell -s. Maybe just bin fish. Yeah, that's what I thought. Why is it loading bash? How to change your default shell Linux. Sure, Kali Linux, if that makes a difference. Yeah. Ooh, Etsy shells. Okay. I want to have Vim fucking everywhere. You might have to set it you might have set it to an invalid path. Oh, I see. Maybe. So let's try this first. Oh, well, now it worked. I'm not sure why it didn't before, because I'm pretty sure the command that I did, how do we do? Yeah. I used this first and it didn't work, so I tried doing this. Okay, well, now it is what I want. So I have everything set up pretty much how I want it to be. Instead, except of Neovim, which is still very old. So true, Kali is a bit more updated than Ubuntu. It's still better, but still not quite there. So Neovim install, I guess. Use sudo, so we change the shell of. Why does it work that way? Like, wow. Like, I'm used to things requiring sudo to make sure they're done, so I just assumed you need to do that for change shell as well. But I guess it's a user thing, not a like system thing. Okay. Latest stable release. So no, not Windows. App image. Chmod. I don't want to use an app image because of the naming, and then where do I put it? And then you create a symlink, like, wow. I'd rather do it the way that I did it on my fucking own tutorial. And for that, I'm gonna get my headphones. Yes, I'm gonna watch my own tutorial to figure out something. That's the coolest part of making videos. It's the fact that you can teach yourself. Jesus, it's so hot. Well, I guess, to be more specific, I am so hot. But that sounds very different. Okay. So, how did I do that? Let's, once again, watch my own video. Lol. Which is why I wrote the syntax with username before. Oh, I see. Yeah, that makes sense. So let's install 0.8. But the tutorial applies to everything else. Jesus. I sound so fucking hilarious. Like, you can hear how much I'm trying to make my voice masculine. Like, this is an effort, and it's very visible. And now, recognizing that I'm trans, I find this so funny. Like, I sound hilarious. Oh, what the fuck? Yeah, I agree. Okay, so sudo apt remove neovim -y, sudo apt remove neovim -y. Yeah, that's the last thing. Okay. Boop, 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 boop. What next? Unfortunately. Double unfortunately. Great sentence structure. Good job. Right. Really? Really? Interesting. Ooh, maybe that's because...
this page of releases of NeoVim. I'll leave a link to this.
Could you hear that? Could you hear that? Because I set it, the volume much like smaller in OBS because I tried to play music on my last stream and it was like very loud. So could you hear that? Okay, cool. Thank you for saying. I'll leave it at that. Still tell me if it's like too loud or too quiet.
This in the description. Scroll down. You may
Scroll up. you goofy.
install the 0.9, but it's a pre-release, so I
No
decided
longer.
to just stick with 0.8, which is what the extension requires anyway. And by the way, in case I don't know, basically I haven't mentioned this, but
Yeah,
we're
right.
making this extension work again. VS Code NeoVim. Coming back, what we need here is Linux tarball.
That's no longer there, or rather deprecated. Blah blah blah. It's deprecated. Whatever. But I'm pretty sure what I can do. First of all, let's echo the path, and yes, that local bin is there. I use it because I'm not sure what I'm supposed to be using. Okay, so I could just, I guess, execute this command, sudo yes, move after I install it from wherever I do, I guess. So let's, we're already in programming. So I guess what I do is just linux start.gz. And I just install it to programming. Oh, right, it takes a long time. Cool. Thank you for telling me. This is like a very crucial part of streaming. Chat saying, it's too loud, it's too quiet. Like whenever I watch VODs of streams of other people, I love the chat just saying something in unison. I find it so like great, so unifying. And Jesus, yeah, it takes a long time. It says deprecated, sure, but it's the easiest method. I've never used an app image, and I imagine it's just a file that you can run, and it's going to be more difficult to make work than just doing it like this. I'm not making any sense here, but yeah, I already know how to do it with tar, and I don't with app image, so that's why I'm using tar. Like, I made a whole video on it, so yeah, I know how it works. Or the past me does. And I keep revisiting this video every time I need to reinstall NeoVim. So, NeoVim Linux 64, checking the name, .tar. Jesus! Why is my throat fucked? So annoying. We go there, we tar, which tar. Okay, so that we have. Cool. that, remove for real, link this to that, and new of inversion. So we can pretty much just take these commands and paste them once this thing loads once again. Yeah, that's the cool thing about them, and yeah, it's very nice, but NeoVim. So first of all, what could be more difficult to do? Basically, implementing NeoVim into the NeoVim extension, I feel like it's going to be easier to do it the tar way rather than an app image. So that first, and other stuff potentially, like plugins for example, might be more fucky with an app image compared to a more like a usual install. That's my thought on it. But for other stuff that I can't just install, but I don't have such restrictions, which are at least there in my head, for them app images are great indeed. Wow, it takes such a long time. But it is indeed installed in programming, I think. Yes, at least it's going to be. I find it interesting that fish, by default, when you use ls, it puts a slash at the end of directories and a asterisk at the end of the files. I imagine it does something else for symlinks. And we're gonna look at that actually. But I would assume that it works the same exact way. Yeah, like you'd think, and you're probably right, but keyword assume and is just one extra thing that I don't really have to worry about. Maybe eventually when I only have the version of an app image, I can figure that out. But so far, like, I have a working solution, I might as well use the working solution. So we start out at programming, we just paste, why? Copy, please, and paste. Oh, right, it has to exist first. Okay, make directory -p dot config dot neovim, no, not neovim, what am I doing? Dash, no, that's not even dot config. Dot local bin. And now I can actually paste those. I should actually paste this command in the description of that video. Wait, I'm on the same channel. Oh yeah, edit video. So before we actually move there, do this command. Another one. Add dot local. I am not sure why I did it this way first anyway, but there was probably a reason. P path, I think? Yes, path environment variable. So that should be a good enough thing, like update. Okay. Let's fucking go. Hell yeah. So cool. So it works. It works. And now I go back to change where it is. Neovim path /.local.bin neovim. I close it, I open it, and it should not display that error message. And we'll see if it does. Sure, it takes a long time. Interesting. Why is that the case? Neovim was disconnected. Code 127 is like not recognized, I'm pretty sure. Setup has detected that setup. What? Windows is so funny. Like, it's so confused. Maybe there are some other settings that I'm missing. Like WSL, for example. Yeah, maybe actually. Okay, let's check those out. First of all, WSL. Not Ubuntu, actually. I don't have it anymore. That I'll have to change. That file is Lua, yeah. Use WSL. Enable specify this thing. Yeah. .linux. Have I not? .local. It still works. Oh, because it's once again me that's stupid. It starts with this. You're probably already screaming at me saying that. No. Or maybe the 30 fucking second delay is what's doing that. So yeah, it's my fault. And it's always like a good feeling when it's your fault. I know it sounds strange, but it's much better than it being the system's fault and being more complicated than just you being wrong. Okay, so now... Okay, yeah, it works. I got like a worry in my mind that, it seems a bit slower than it was on Ubuntu, but it's probably just me streaming having an effect. So let's go here. Yeah, tripping. How about this? Same speed. Yeah, pretty much the same speed. So in terms of distribution difference, there's not much, but I was able to install Fish without doing it the more annoying way. I still had to do the neovim install, not just by sudo apt install neovim, but at least one thing was better for me. So now in the future I'll have less issues trying to install stuff. So I think overall it's worth it. So I didn't install Arch on WSL, which yeah, would just be better. And I wouldn't have to fuck around and install neovim this way. I have tried to send this message 2 times already. And it would be funny if this one also deleted by itself. Like, why? YouTube, it's so weird. Why does it just not let some comments through? For no reason. So we did this. Screenshot via UAA. Good idea. I guess so. Maybe it has some word that it automatically blocks. I think it automatically blocks the word trap because it's like a transphobic term as well as literally just a word. So YouTube might automatically delete some like comments. So for sus words, maybe you have put spaces in them or something. I would continue the stream, but I'm also hungry. Oh, I changed this. Yeah. Because the way I reboot the shell is like this now. Yeah, so I would continue the stream, but I'm hungry now, so I'm gonna go eat and do something along the lines of watching One Piece or something. Is it still not letting it through? Well, you can send it on Discord then. There it's not as, like, there you won't have your message blocked for no reason. Okay, so goodbye everyone watching. There are no sus words in my messages. Sure, we'll see about that. Okay, so everyone watching the VOD as well, I hope you had fun. Now I guess you know how to install distributions, like additional ones, on WSL. And actually, before I go, let's also go to apps and whatever and remove Ubuntu because it's still actually there, taking up my space. Yeah, it is. It's much smaller now, but it's still technically there. I don't need this. Yeah, I'll just uninstall a bunch of stuff. I hate when apps do this. Like, just shut up, do your thing, and go away. But now you have a whole ass UI. Like, oh my god, I'm uninstalling. Yeah, shut up. Misha did send me a Discord message basically saying, is this like an issue only for me? No, and I've actually made 2 people in my chat like approved users, and that changed shit all. So let's try to yes, add as moderator. Can manage blocked words and change what chat modes and live. Also has capabilities of standard moderators. Can review and remove chat messages and hide. Okay, let's start with this. Can manage blocked words. Like, I imagine even the standard one doesn't have any limits, right? So maybe that will work. Okay, what else do I want to uninstall? Okay, another thing. Oh my god, you look so cool. So yeah, Misha, I do agree. Having the chat on the phone, at the very least, is a good idea. Like, there is already delay because my system can't handle it. It's gonna try and send the same message again. What? Huh. Okay. Why is that the case? Strange. Excellent. Error. Okay. Please fix. You can literally just place the app image at user bin neovim without an extension. It will still work. Ah. Oh, that's cool. Didn't know that. Well, I guess you're now a moderator. I'm gonna open the chat on my phone to artificially boost my fucking stream performance. Yeah, finally, right? Okay, well, I guess I'm just gonna start making people that I trust moderators or something. Just to let them fucking paste messages. That's so crazy. Okay, let's continue on to delete some other stuff that I don't no longer need. Like, what is this? I'm pretty sure I don't need it anymore. Visual Studio tools. It's so fucking annoying that some apps need Visual Studio tools. Yeah, I don't care. Yes, do your thing. Yes, I also don't need this. And Jesus, it's so huge. Uninstall. So yeah, congratulations, Michelle, on being my first moderator, like, ever. That's pretty cool. I currently have the chat open on my phone, and yeah, you're absolutely right. To be more precise, Misha sent me a message on Discord saying, basically, the stream that you had where you had chat on your phone felt a lot better because you always notice new messages very quickly. And yes, I agree, so I'm gonna try my best to remember to have my phone to read chat, because yeah, sometimes I can go on doing my own thing, and then after a lot of time open this window to actually read the chat, and it's like not as good. So yeah, I'll take that feedback. It's like very useful one. You only like start getting feedback once you have enough people, usually, because most people won't bother to give you feedback. They'll just not watch. So it's very nice to have people. It's probably very loud for you, is it? I can only imagine so I'm gonna turn it down. Should be better now, but maybe it's not an issue to begin with. Like, what is this? My system is like fucking over. Just fucking... Yeah, remove. I don't care about you, SQL server. What is ODBC driver? Oh, for SQL server. What? Okay. Yeah. To remove a feature, yes. Delete everything. Like, forget about me. Completely. Yeah. The funny thing is, like, even if I got a second monitor, I wouldn't have a place to put it in. Uh, it's like, it's long, so my space to the wall is pretty long, but the table is very narrow by comparison. Feedback is the only way to improve, and giving yourself feedback is kind of dumb. Giving yourself feedback? Huh. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's usually true. God damn. I feel like I feel like dads have a way of with words sometimes. Like very eloquent and very like wise. I can only guess because my dad left me at not even one, I think less. Jesus, it takes such a long time to uninstall it. Giving yourself feedback is kinda dumb. Yeah, that's a very good point. Yeah. Yeah, it is. But at least it's funny. Which I know sounds terrible, but... Aww. Oh, that's incredible. Fuck yeah. W to your dad. So there's this meme. I hope that I'm going to be able to find it. Daddy issues, mommy issues. I hope I'm gonna find that meme because it's so funny. Almost this, but yeah, pretty much. If you have mommy issues, you become a Nazi. If you have daddy issues, you become trans. And maybe this? They're the same thing. They're the same thing. They're both spreading the same exact message, just worded differently. Basically, the meme format was this. But I guess I'm not gonna find it. Yeah, I find it very funny to follow memes. The fact that I'm going to eventually install Arch, the fact that I use Vim, where thigh high, so on. The pipeline of memes that are surprisingly dear to me and actually close to me, like correct. I find that, I guess, not endearing, but comforting, yeah. Like, okay, my dad left me at 1, but at the very least, it's like in the meme. It's like in the fucking meme. I don't know, that, for some reason I like that. Are you done? Jesus, why do you have the Sberbank? Oh, no, that's not it. Okay, let's continue on. What else? I don't need this. Yes, kill yours. I would probably get banned. I'm surprised I caught myself on that. I was saying that to Azure, and I haven't used it ever, but I feel like every developer would agree with me on that. Is my stream? Yeah, my stream is still going. I mean, if my stream got immediately banned for almost saying that, I would be surprised. Discord, Git, GitHub, Kali, Kali Linux. Huh, it takes up less space, interesting. Key on player, oh, actually I don't need it anymore because I don't use it. I do realize that it's a bit of a silly stream idea. I am uninstalling random Windows stuff, like, I realize it's not particularly interesting, but I'm ending the stream somewhat soon anyway, so I feel like it's okay. Azure is the most impressive clusterfuck I've ever worked with. Yeah, I would imagine exactly that from Azure. The fact that it's, as far as I'm aware, a Microsoft thing, I can only imagine that it is. I remember you telling me that there's Azure and Azure something else. I swear you can make an ASMR video of just installing bloatware. You're right. You're so right. Especially with my microphone now being way closer to me, I can actually record like ASMR. And to add to that, I'm a girl, and maybe that's weird, but I find ASMR from men uncomfortable. From almost everyone. So, let's record a bit of ASMR. I have no idea how well you can actually hear me and how good I am at ASMR, but I've watched a lot of it. Some mouse sounds. Do you like that? I would. Okay, I think that's pretty much it in terms of things that I wanted to uninstall. I got more viewers after doing ASMR. See, it works. Yeah, exactly. Like, they're different, like way different, so it's very confusing. I am a chaotic girl. I like just going with the flow. Mm-hmm. Very not obvious. Thanks, Microsoft. And also the fucking Visual Studio versus Visual Studio Code. You really couldn't name it differently. If you try to search for something for Visual Studio, you'll have a difficult time because it thinks you're searching for Visual Studio Code. And also people confuse the two very often. So overall it's like very confusing. Like, thank you, Microsoft. So okay, ending stream. Gonna go eat now with my install of Kali Linux. And I'm not gonna... Thank you. I find that to be... Oh, sorry. I find that to be a compliment. I will become fucking Doflamingo for One Piece. Honestly, he's very hot. I think number one hottest guy in One Piece is Zoro, and he's my favorite Straw Hat, which I guess goes to show how basic I am in a way, but he's just so incredibly cool and hot. Fuck, I love this tagline. It's so true. I mean, okay, in reality I disagree, because it's Microsoft that made Visual Studio Code, and it's actually so good because it has the easiness of something more bloated, but the configurableness of something less bloated. It's like a very nice golden middle, and because of so many people liking it, I can easily like implement very cool technologies like NeoVim into it and start using it. Me too, he's just a savage. I know, right? He's just so cool. Like, on spoilers, I guess, for pre-Alabasta, the fucking something island with Broggy and the other giant. The fact that he was on the wax, what is it called? Basically, the wax structure, he was freezed into it, and he's like, well, okay, I guess now what I have to do is cut my legs off. So cool. It's Microsoft that bought... Oh. I'm glad you're wrong. Like, I'm sorry, but I'm glad, because it at least gives Microsoft at least a few things that they made good. Because yeah, their tagline I think is made by developers for developers, and I so see it. Like, I so see it. There are many hyper-specific settings in VS Code that you just see and you're like, oh my god, they could only think of this because they are developers themselves. And I just love it. Like, for example, just how easy it is to change your code coloring. You type in tokens, you get this window, you get all the information that you need, you just copy this, copy it. Honey, I do not speak Spanish. Okay, I remember learning it a long time ago. I actually spent a year learning it, so I sometimes understand it. Let's try to understand what you said. ¿Qué estás haciendo, papi? That's the only word I'm confused about. Papi in English from Spanish. Thank you, but I'm trans, I'm a woman. Soy onna. That's in fucking Japanese. Mommy in in Spanish. Soy mami. Soy mami. Guys, yes. Breaking news, developers develop. I know, right? Like, thank you for being horny, but please be horny to me in a, like, woman way, please. Yeah, like, go at it. Ask me if I have OnlyFans. By the way, I don't yet. I find the idea, like, I'm open to the idea, I just don't have a way to earn money with that yet, so I have no reason to start it yet. But I will. I have some juicy photos. I'm, like, gonna be fair about that. I'm new to coding. Right now I'm doing competitive coding, and to speed up, I started using Vim extension of VS Code, but I keep quitting and going to startup mode. What should I do? First of all, what you should do is install the NeoVim extension for VS Code, and I'm gonna leave that in the description of the stream. Fucking Vim. Well, not that. Okay, yes. How to use Vim. I think that's the video. So that's the first video I've ever made on Vim, and more specifically Vim in VS Code. And I show off the difference between the Vim extension and the NeoVim extension. And I believe the NeoVim extension is much, much, much better. How to use Vim. And I'm also going to copy this link and paste it in the chat. Please don't leave yet, because I have more things to say. But have this link, like, saved up for after I finish stream so you can watch it. So, that's the first step, in my opinion. You install an extension that is far, far more responsive and has more features that work. I have yet to find a feature that I don't also have on VS Code that doesn't work on NeoVim. Even something like, let me, like, surprise you. So, what if I want to have, like, this line? So, let's say I type in, like, set-g, and I'm like, I don't want to type it in. Control-X, Control-L, Control-X, Control-L, and so on and so on. And here I am. That's what NeoVim gives you, or Vim as well, but this thing is not supported on the Vim extension. So that's the first step. And second step is stick to it. Stick to it, learn about Vim and all its features, what you can do with it, all the mappings that you can do, configure it, make some changes. Watch every single 10 more things about NeoVim that you didn't know, and get surprised, get amazed by the things that you can actually do, and you'll fall in love with it to such an extent that you won't want to not use it. But the first, like, it took me a week to get faster with Vim compared to not using Vim. So it takes some time, but actually stick with it, give it the time that it deserves. I tried to install NeoVim, but I keep getting this path error. Main controller, yeah, I see what you mean. Configure the path to NeoVim and restart the editor. Yeah. Let me show you what that means. NeoVim path. So if you also use WSL, you should specify the path to NeoVim here. But if you installed NeoVim on your Windows machine, you do it somewhere here, I guess here. Like, read the settings, like just type in NeoVim path and you'll see it. But if you do use WSL, click use WSL, give the path here, and make sure it's actually correct. The way you can do that is type in which NeoVim, and you get the path. Okay? Yeah. And then you can specify the path to your init.lua config file. And in there you can make all of the remaps that you want, all the settings. You can use all the plugins as well. For example, a plugin I recently installed is called Sneak. So there is the F motion in NeoVim. So let me actually toggle screencast mode. So I can FV to jump to V, and then continue on jumping if I had any more than just one. But with Sneak, I can press QVI, and I jump to VI. So let's actually, we have multiple eyes, right? So it's a lot of jumps to get to where I want, if I say want to go here. But with Sneak, I can QIT, and I'm immediately there. Just one of the plugins, one of them, and it's such power. And as you get used to using Vim, actually use it, you will love it. Like, I can promise that. When are you going to teach Python? At least not soon. I don't like the language. I've checked it out. I just don't like it. Like, it's lame in ways that ultimately don't matter. I do understand that, but it's lame in ways that do matter to me. Like, the syntax is just annoying. I want to have brackets, for example. The way that it does the same things in a different way is annoying to work with. I'm not gonna touch Python anytime soon, but like earlier than not, I am going to start learning and also teaching Rust. So I'm gonna get to Rust. Okay, to reply to all the messages. Okay, is respectfully horny. Thank you. There was a guy on Discord that messaged me once asking me, do you have an OnlyFans? And it's like the greatest compliment to a trans girl that recently discovered herself. Because, oh my god, you find me hot enough to ask for OnlyFans? It felt so good. So, thank you for being respectfully horny. I appreciate it. And to come back to this, yeah, developers developed VS Code, but it's like, I don't know, designers designing a tool for designing, or builders building a building tool that's built for builders. I don't know. Basically, the fact that it was made by an interested party who themselves want to eventually use that made the tool much better than it would be otherwise. Hell yeah! Fuck yeah. Rust is, at least I've heard, is such a good language. And I like the infrastructure. a really big point for me in choosing a language is its infrastructure. And auto hotkeys infrastructure, believe it or not, I like it a lot. Like, it's very simple, easy to understand, easy to use. No bullshit. C#, I fucking despise. It's very annoying, hard to work with. It's just... Rust, on the other hand, as far as I've heard, is like very good. The cargo like install, builds, so on, publish, just seems far nicer. So yeah, I find it interesting that once I got the idea, oh, I should finish stream soon. Finally, like I get the most viewers that I've ever had. You say that, but isn't Gradle like very hard to work with? Because otherwise, everything that you have explained about Kotlin, I was like, oh my god, that's so cool. But I remember you complaining about Gradle. Are you saying that even with that, it's still worth it? I imagine it is, right? Okay, my water pretty much ended, so I have to end stream. Oh, okay. That's good. That's very good. That said, I always use Gradle because it's still the best option. Fair enough. Yeah. Sometimes we just have something that we pretty much have to use. Okay, I had a lot of fun. Thanks everyone for watching and joining the stream. I'm really happy that you did. Is 4 a.m. like the perfect time to stream? I guess. I hope you had fun, and goodbye.